Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Rundown with me, Zulfick Farzan. It's Friday and on this morning's program we have some interesting stories lined up. Let's start off with Sri Lanka's population. Now, the population growth of Sri Lanka has slowed further. Now, this is according to the 2024 National Census report released yesterday. Now, the report indicates that the current growth rate stands at 0.5%, a notable drop from 0.7% recorded during the 2012 census. Despite the decline, the Department of Census and Statistics confirms that the population is still growing, albeit at a slower pace. The country's population has increased by 1.437,000 individuals since the last census, now bringing the total to 21,781,800. Of this figure, 51.7% are women, while men account to 48.3%. The report also highlights significant demographic shifts. Children under 15 years now represent 20.7% of the population, marking a 4.5% decrease. Senior citizens aged 65 and above have risen to 12.6%, an increase of 4.7%. The working age group from 15 to 64 years comprises 66.7% of the population. The dependency ratio, which measures the proportion of dependents under 15 and over 65 to the working age population, has climbed to 49.8%. Now, ethnic composition remains largely unchanged, with Sinhalese at 74.1%, Sri Lankan Tamils at 12.3%, Sri Lankan Muslims at 10.5%, and Indian Tamils at 2.8%. The report also notes that 2,281 individuals are currently living without permanent housing across the country. Now, the Ministry of Housing and Construction has launched district-level investigations into alleged irregularities in housing assistance projects implemented between 2019 and 2024. Minister Dr. Susil Wanasinghe revealed that the initial probe will focus on Anuradhapura district, where complaints have surfaced regarding misuse of housing aid funds. Under the scheme, each beneficiary was entitled to 600,000 Sri Lankan rupees, but reports indicate that some individuals did not receive the full amount. Further allegations suggest that housing assistance was not distributed to the most deserving families. The ministry has also decided to question officials of the National Housing Development Authority who were responsible for overseeing these projects during the period in question. Dr. Wanasinghe added that certain housing sites have also presented construction-related issues, prompting a comprehensive review. He assured that steps will be taken to provide relief to genuinely affected families who were deprived of proper assistance due to these irregularities. Now, the Election Commission of Sri Lanka will officially certify the 2025 electoral register today. Election Commissioner General Saman Shivatnayaka announced that citizens can verify whether their names are included in the certified voter list by visiting the official website. That's www.elections.lk. Now, Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning Dr. Anil Jayanda has confirmed that the long-anticipated Sinopec investment in Sri Lanka is nearing its final stages, with all major technical and practical hurdles now resolved. Dr. Jayanda revealed that productive discussions with the Chinese embassy and Sinopec representatives have paved the way for the project's imminent launch in the country.
A significant investment is there, that is Sinopec investment. It had taken a long time as of now to see the visibility. We have had several discussions with counterparts, and I would like to announce that we had good discussions with the embassy and the representative from Sinopec. Now we have almost come to the last step. We have cleared all the technical bottlenecks and practical issues that we faced in the past. So hope that maybe before the end of this year, we would be able to demonstrate by action that visibility of Sinopec would be in Sri Lankan soil soon.
Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, has underscored the growing trade imbalance between Sri Lanka and China, while advocating for the establishment of a direct renminbi or RMB payment mechanism to reduce transaction costs and enhance trade efficiency. Speaking on the evolving economic relationship, Dr. Vigo Singh noted that China remains Sri Lanka's largest source of imports and its second largest trading partner, with bilateral trade reaching 4.6 billion USD in 2024.
When you look at the Sri Lanka-China economic relations, we know China which has a very strong economic relation with China. China remains Sri Lanka's largest source of imports and the second largest trading partner. The total bilateral trade reached $4.6 billion in 2024, with imports amounting to about $4.3 billion, mainly comprising textiles and textile articles, engineering equipment and construction materials, iron and steel. So there's major import of raw materials for industries in Sri Lanka. However, on the other side, Sri Lanka's trade deficit with China widened from $2.8 billion in 2023 to $4.1 billion in 2024, which means it is growing mainly largely in favor of China, reflecting the imbalance between imports and relatively low export volumes from Sri Lanka to China. In terms of investments, Chinese foreign direct investment and loans were mainly directed to port projects in Hambantota at the beginning and Kamath and Colombo. The most significant recent Chinese engagement in Sri Lanka include Chinese investment in mega projects such as Hambantota Port, Hambantota Industrial Zone and Colombo Port City project. As an end 2024, the stock of Chinese investment in Sri Lanka was recorded at well over $2.2 billion. Chinese other area, this Chinese RMB internationalization is important for tourism. Chinese tourists also continue to play an important role in the tourism sector, accounting for around 6% total arrivals during the first 9 months of 2025.
Now moving on to crime fighting, Sri Lanka police have initiated a major crackdown on organized crime networks, requesting financial intelligence reports on the assets of approximately 20 high-profile criminals. Authorities confirm that these reports will serve as the basis for decisive legal and financial action. According to police sources, investigations have revealed that proceeds from drug trafficking and other illicit activities have been funneled into legitimate ventures, including business establishments, real estate acquisitions, and property development projects. Police emphasize that financial intelligence reports will enable them to verify all details and trace the origins of these assets, ensuring that ill-gotten wealth is brought under the purview of the law. Now, the Board of Investment, or the BOI, has announced that 14 foreign investors have expressed interest in Sri Lanka's mineral exploration and related industries. BOI Chairman Arjuna Herath revealed that the proposed investments are valued at approximately $1 billion, with the majority focused on mineral sand exploration and processing. To facilitate these investments, a new policy framework governing mineral resources is currently being drafted by the Ministry of Industries, along with a robust regulatory mechanism. Now, Herath noted that once implemented, these projects will drive rapid development in the mineral sector, creating hundreds of new jobs and strengthen Sri Lanka's industrial base. The scheduled strike by government doctors, which was set to begin at 8 a.m. today, has been postponed until 12 noon. Now, this was confirmed by the Government Medical Officers Association. GMO spokesperson Dr. Chamil Vijay Singh has stated that the decision was taken following discussions with health authorities regarding cancer-related issues. He said that the strike will remain suspended until written agreements are provided by the relevant officials. Now on to a story that's making headlines across the seas. Prince Andrew is to lose his prince title and leave his Windsor mansion Royal Lodge following weeks of intense scrutiny over his links to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. In a statement on Thursday night, Buckingham Palace said the king's brother will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Andrew gave up his other royal titles earlier this month, including the Duke of York, after facing more questions about his private life. Now on to some action from the sporting arena, especially from the Women's Cricket World Cup. India secured its place in the Women's Cricket World Cup 2025 final for the third time, defeating defending champions Australia by 5 wickets in a thrilling semi-final clash. Australia, after winning the toss, opted to bat first. Despite an early setback with skipper Alyssa Healy dismissed for just 5 runs, The innings was revived by Phoebe Litchfield and Elise Perry, who built a formidable 155-run partnership for the second wicket. Litchfield dazzled with her third ODI century, scoring 119 off 93 balls, while Perry contributed a solid 77. Australia posted a competitive total of 338 all-out, chasing 339. India faced early pressure as opponents Shafali Verma and Smriti Mandana fell cheaply. However, Captain Harmanpreet Kaur and Jemima Rodriguez turned the tide with a commanding 167-run stand for the third wicket. Harmanpreet struck her 22nd ODI half-century, scoring 89, while Rodriguez remained unbeaten with a brilliant 127. Her third ODI century. India will now face South Africa in the grand finale scheduled for Sunday. Fans can catch all the action live on TV1 and SirasaTV.lk, the official domestic right holders for the Women's Cricket World Cup 2025. And with that, we bring an end to this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown, and we will meet you again next week. And until then, have yourself an amazing weekend.